Kevin Samuels. So this is the only person. You know how I hate red pill. Damn, streamed 2 days ago. That hurts. All right, let's see.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
And good evening and welcome to The Factor Uncensored. Controversial youth.
I don't know how much you looked into nutrition, but what do you think optimal diet for health is? There's a lot of studies about again, Japan. There's a certain island in Japan. I forget the island. There's the diet has a high variety plus fish. It's like almost like a pescatarian type thing. And the calories aren't too high. And it's the average diet for like the longest lifespan, right? I get confused with longevity and lifespan. Someone Google it. It's the same shit, right? Is it Okinawa? See, I was going to say that, but I'm like, someone's going to make this a racist thing.
YouTube star Kevin Samuels has died from an apparent heart attack, according to a friend we talked to tonight. We broke the news to you here on the...
By the way, Sony's diet of high protein is rapid aging diet, but yes, it's without high protein, you're not getting shredded. You're not even getting lean. Like, well, some people are good vegans and stuff, but for most people, if you want to be full and shit like that, yeah, it's right. And then you choose: does your body like fats or carbs more? Like what looks better in the mirror, and then you play with those two. It can't have both high, right? Can't have fats and carbs both high like McDonald's meals. You can't have that for aesthetics. But for aging, a Mediterranean diet or that Okinawa diet seems to be best, right? And for liquor, maximum wine.
Factor last night. Samuels is best known for dishing out some very controversial relationship advice, but coming down extremely hard, some say, on black women specifically. Take a listen.
You're running back size. Okay. You can hit the A gap like a...
He's not attacking black women. He's talking about size. Any girl of any color here would be offended if he asked the size of their dress. Which, ladies, if you find, ladies, come get ready to cancel me. All right, get ready. All right, ladies, ready? If you find it offensive for a man to ask you your dress size, stop fucking asking him how tall he is on Tinder. It's identical. Matter of fact, you guys have it easier because you can change yours. You can go on a diet. Ain't nobody going on a bulk to get taller, right?
Yeah, all right. I accept.
So don't come in here and talk about what men should not be able to do when they got to accept somebody who can run out the power I. How tall are you?
5'4".
Dress size?
6.
That's your picture?
That is my picture.
How recent is it?
That's a 10-year-old picture. But I still look like that.
Beautiful women don't have 10-year-old pictures, man.
Now tonight, a Houston attorney and mentee and good friend of Samuels is on The Factor. That attorney, as of this evening, has been appointed the family spokesperson. But we talked to him before that development. Dennis Sperling talks about Samuels' impact nationwide.
My favorite line from Kevin Samuels is a lady that goes, well, I'm 50 and I have 4 kids, and how do I get a husband, right? What do I do? Like, what do you want me to do? And he's like this, be reincarnated. It was with a straight face. It was the funniest line he's ever said. By the way, to all my friends who have kids and find me offensive, right? Yes, if you have kids, you are leftovers, male or female, I don't care. You are leftovers. That's the truth, right? The truth is you kind of just lily-dallied into relationships, didn't give a fuck, and you're like, my future man ain't going to care. Just have a kid with this dude. Yes, he's going to care, right? Yeah, he better care. You better find a dude who cares, right? And another thing, if you had a kid with someone and you're not married to them because of what? You guys argue a little too much and stuff, you're a fucking loser, period. Right? You better have a real reason why you guys are not married, right?
to know Kevin because I have a podcast, Dennis Scrolling on YouTube, and having become very, effective at what I do.
Hold on, I'll take it further. I'm gonna take it further. Okay, I'm gonna take it further. If your man cheats on you and you had a kid with him, let him cheat. Because it's about the kid and not you. Then when the kid is raised, and you can't psychologically torment them anymore, then y'all bozos can do whatever the fuck you want. But since when is the kid more important than your fuck life? What? What the? Do you know how many parents in this chat stay together just for the kids? They fucking don't like each other. And the kids grew up to be healthy. Every parent's fear should not be death of their romance, but death of their child's mental health. Did I say it the other way around? You know the thing.
He popped up on a mutual friend's podcast, and we began to talk. He then invited me to his Facebook room.
This is disgusting. They're doing a hit piece on a dead man. What the fuck?
Where it's called The Mix, and it's where you get couples together, and and that's actually how I met my fiance, ironically. But that's how I met him, and he and I just kept in contact over the past 2.5 years, and we'd start working together. But his main thing was getting couples together, getting people married again, telling women, hey, you know what? This society that we live in has caused you ladies to become narcissists and to overvalue yourselves. You got 3 kids by 3 different men. You're 150 pounds overweight. You're not going to marry a millionaire. You should talk to that plumber or that electrician.
Not even the plumber is going to take it. That's the sad part, is like, you got to take a step down from the electricians, Another thing, marriage isn't for love. It's so you're not alone when death comes knocking at the door, okay? Right? Your biggest fear is facing that alone. But in Western society, the biggest fear is we're not in love. Oh, we're just not in love. Okay.
That hardworking guy who you can build a life with, because as it is right now, here in America, we teach the men that they should undervalue themselves, and we teach the women that they should overvalue themselves. And that was this basic message.
For some, he was brutally honest. For others, he was brutally cruel. Where would you stand in describing your friend? And I'd say that because you actually had a relationship with him. You knew him, and it led to your fiance. So how would you describe what your friend did?
Well, for those people who think he was cruel, people who've been lied to their whole lives, they see the truth as cruelty. Kevin Samuels was accurate. He backed his statements up with facts from the CDC reports. In the Black community alone, 80% of the women have children out of wedlock. And that's being sired by 20% of the men. 51% of Black men don't have children. 31% of Black men are married and live with their wives. So that means there's about 18% of men, give or take, who's siring children with these women. And so he pointed that out. He said that
he was a good guy. Kevin just wanted these miserable single moms to have someone there for when they're getting old and sick. And he wanted to happen rapido, as fast as possible, right? He's like, people have been kind of lying to you guys for a long time. I think it's time I correct it. And nobody could argue with Kev, right? He was actually blackballed from mainstream media and all Black media. When we look at Breakfast Club and stuff, they wouldn't call him by name, but they talk shit about him. Nobody wanted to talk to Kev except YouTubers, right? Which is great. Not even Jordan Peterson is conservative like Kevin Sam. No, bro. Nobody gave him a chance because he was brutal, right? But let me ask you, Chad. When has the truth not been brutal? You know what I mean by that? I don't remember one time in my life where the truth was like yummy. It's always been like Robitussin.
That's why black men aren't getting married. But see, the thing about Kevin Samuels that you all don't know is that his vision, his legacy was going to expand past YouTube. He had visions of starting a mega sort of entertainment advertising where we would talk about men's clothing, fitness, suits, cologne, those colognes and things that he would advertise.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing that because he was getting paid for it. He was a brilliant businessman. And the fact that he was willing to speak the truth to people and was accurate about it, all that did was endear him to the rest of us who recognize the truth he was speaking. So for those people who are his detractors, listen to the man's podcast and you'll see he was speaking the truth. It's the reality that we live in now.
No, one of the things you said was
Here it comes.
was talking about getting yourself together, staying in shape. And that's one of the things he did. And that's why this is so shocking to so many people. Cardiac arrest, heart attack, and people are trying to wrap their heads around that. This is a man who taught many people how to live better, how to eat better. And so it's kind of like, how did this happen to him?
Well, unfortunately,
That's the dumbest question I've ever heard. Bro, how many healthy people do we know that just kick the bucket? What the fuck?
he basically was a one-man show, every night.
Like, we all have that grandpa who smoked till 99 and another grandpa who kicked the bucket early and he was healthy. And you know what I mean? Like, well, it must be the Viagra. Nah. It is suspicious.
The past 7 years. Most of you all didn't know him until about 2.5 years ago. But for the first 5 years, he spoke to men. He said, you need to get yourself together. You're 5'5", 280 pounds, and you only make $30,000 a year, yet you want this supermodel to be your woman. That's not going to happen. And he was cruel. You want to see cruelty? Look at how he talked to some of those guys. I mean, my God, he would have you leaving that podcast, like 2 feet shorter than when you walked in. But
equally honest to both sexes.
Equally honest, but it really picked up because no one has been brave enough to speak to women in an honest way, to tell them, hey, you know what? You need to come down off of that ledge that you're on. You're going to die alone. You're going to get a dog. You're going to be a cat lady. You think you're better than your husband and you can do better. So you're willing to file this divorce to get back out there on that market. And what you're going to get is a rude awakening. But as far as his health, I mean, Kevin says this, and I don't want to speak too much beyond what the family would want to be said, but Kevin fought and conquered cancer at a very young age. Mm-hmm. And so, I can only imagine what that did to his body. But, just hanging out with him, he didn't overeat, he didn't undereat, but I know that the stress of putting on those shows, and you yourself know what it's like, man. And me, I've had the experience now being on my podcast. You have to interact with the public. You're constantly on edge. The only time I've ever seen him truly relaxed is down in Miami for his birthday. And everybody knows he says I don't drink, but I'm known for purchasing a few bottles here and there, and you've hung out with me before too. And so after a couple of bottles, man, he was dancing and really just enjoying his birthday. And to me, I look at that like that was his going away party, as far as I'm concerned. Just seeing him smile.
John, what's the first thing in your mind when you wake up? Future, definitely future, right? Like, what am I going to be doing? How much am I be making? Will I be making it in a stressful way? Will it be in a stressful way that lets me sleep good? Or will I sleep very stressed? Because what a lot of people don't know is stress taxes the heart. So if you're sleeping stressed, that's 8 hours of bad breathing a night, minimum. You're killing yourself. Stress is, so I always weigh that. Another thing is honor, right? Anytime I start making a bunch of money, I look in the mirror and go, am I doing it in an honorable way or in a way that's kind of like all out? Like, like just fuck it. My whole, you know, yeah. I don't know. If I go further, I'm really